What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about front squats. Okay, it's a slightly different setup than your back squat. Okay, setup is going to be a big key on this one, and the core is going to be a whole lot more on front squats than it will be on the back squats. Okay, on a back squat, I can get away with dropping my torso just a little bit, maybe doing like more of a good morning type squat or a low bar back squat. On the front squats, I can't get away with doing that, and it's all about positions. So we're going to talk about some positions, we're going to talk about some weaknesses that we have, and then some range of motions issues that we may have. Okay, so again, the core is going to be challenged a whole lot more in the front squats, and then the reason for that is any positional change of the front squat is going to force you to miss the lift. Also, the quads are used a whole lot more during the lift. Okay, it's a much more quad-based squat than is a hamstring-based squat. The hamstrings are still utilized, but not as much as the quads will be on the front squat. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is why do we front squat? Why are we front squatting in the first place? In our world, in the CrossFit world, we do front squats to increase our Olympic clean. Okay, and this is why we don't do the cross arm squat when we do front squats. And I know a lot of you have range of motion issues. I myself have range of motion issues in my forearms and my wrists, so it is difficult for me to hold that front rack position for a long time. But it gives me no benefit to do a cross arm front squat like so if I don't have the range of motions. A lot of time, if I hold that position long enough, I can work on that range of motion. It's just something that I need to work on rather than just defaulting to this position here, and it's not going to help me front squat any. Okay? So we definitely want to work on that range of motion. So let's talk about some common faults when we do front squats. Okay, the most common fault and easiest one to see is the dropping of the elbows when we do front squats. The easiest, most common cue you're going to hear is elbows up. Okay, I myself use elbows up as a cue sometimes, but it's not necessarily that simple. There comes a point, however, that elbows up is just not a real cue. Okay, so we have to work on that. The reason elbows drop majority of the time is that there wasn't a stable position created in the first place. It's more than elbows up. It's actually elbows up and tight. And I want to think about pushing my elbows together to create a stable platform that doesn't collapse under the first sign of stress. Okay, so if I just push my elbows up all laxy-daisy, I'm never going to be able to support my max load in that front rack position. Even if I tell you to do light thrusters, okay, if I don't create a stable platform, the more and more tired I get, you'll start to see elbows dropping in a thruster. So when you're doing front squats, you want to think about elbows up and then lock them in by pushing those elbows together. If you do that right now, you'll feel the muscles in the back of your shoulder get really, really tight. And basically what you're doing is you're winding up that shoulder capsule, creating a much, much more stable platform. So think about that when you're doing your front squats. Okay. The second common fault you'll see is riding forward on the toes. And once this happens, I lose force production and whatever engagement in the posterior chain I may have had. Okay. One cause of this could be the ankle range of motion. Most people don't realize that that's the reason they wear lifters in the first place. Okay, lifters themselves, I should be able to front squat in nanos, metcons, converses, whatever. The reason you wear lifters is it elevates that heel just a little bit, so I'm not needing as much range of motion in my ankles as I would in those other types of sneakers. So if you're going to wear lifters, work on that position. Okay, stay on those heels. You better use them to your advantage. Okay. The last thing people fail to understand is that your core is more than just your six-pack abs. Okay, the muscles out of the core used most during squats is the lower back and the obliques, which are all part of your core. Okay, this is why we have the landmine post and the reverse hyper. These tools are underutilized in the gym, and they are valuable for stabilizing the core and building up that front squat. Okay, if my lower back is weak, I'm obviously not going to be able to maintain that nice torso position. I'm going to drop forward. Okay, the obliques are actually going to stabilize that core and not allow you to deviate in any position. Those oblique muscles on the side of the abdominals, those things are critical to strengthen up during front squats, during overhead squats, and during regular back squats. but we fail to realize, we fail to study those muscles and work on those muscles. Okay, so think about using those landmine posts during this next 3-week wave and using that reverse hyper any chance you get. Okay, the front squat, in my opinion, is one of the most valuable tools for a strength coach. In sports, you're rarely in a hunched over position, kind of like a back squat. You're always in an upright position. Okay, we should be able to handle large loads with an upright torso. It exposes lack of range of motion and lack of core strength. Okay, so as we go into this 3-week wave, you're going to see a 2-rep max pause on Monday. On the second week, you're going to see 1 1/4 front squats for the 1-rep max, and we'll go over 1 1/4. And then on the 3rd week wave, we'll go for that 1-rep max front squat. Critical to work on those points of performance, guys. Stay on those heels. Work on that core strength, and then creating that stable shoulder platform as we go into these squats. All right, let's start this new wave, guys, focusing on improving our position, setting ourselves up for success as we enter this new year. We'll be hitting these front squats up very soon. All right, have a great one, guys. Enjoy. Do great things for your country.